A Jedi Master named Qui-Gon Jinn and his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi are given orders to discuss a trade dispute with the Galactic Trade Federation. However, things go haywire and both Jedi are forced to flee the Trade Federation ship, and they land on a nearby planet of Naboo. Qui-Gon makes the biggest mistake in the entire franchise and accidentally saves a Gungan named Jar Jar Binks. And some other boring stuff happens, so we'll just kind of skip that. So Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar head to the capital of Naboo, a city called Theed. The Jedi soon realize the Trade Federation launched an assault on Naboo, and they step in to save the Queen. However, the Queen turns out to be a 14-year-old girl named Padme Amidala. So together, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Padme, Jar Jar, and a droid named R2-D2 escape the Naboo invasion in order to warn the Republic. However, their hyperdrive is damaged and they are forced to land on the desert planet of Tatooine. Obi-Wan stays in the ship because of reasons, and Qui-Gon, Padme, and Jar Jar head to the nearest town to find a new hyperdrive. However, they meet a young slave boy named Anakin Skywalker. Anakin soon forms a bond with his new friends, and Qui-Gon learns that Anakin doesn't have a father, for he is essentially Space Jesus. So Qui-Gon makes a deal with Watto, that if Anakin is able to win the pod race, Qui-Gon gets not only a new hyperdrive, but he also gets to take Anakin with him. Anakin wins the pod race and leaves with Qui-Gon. But before he does, he gives his mother one last hug goodbye, promising he would be back one day to free her from slavery. Upon Qui-Gon and Anakin's return to the ship, they are ambushed by a Sith assassin named Darth Maul. But luckily, Qui-Gon is able to hold the Sith back long enough to allow him and his ship to escape. On board the ship, Anakin Skywalker finally meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the beginning of their long-lasting relationship is forged. The crew then arrive on Coruscant, which is the capital planet of the Republic as well as the home base of the Jedi Order. Anakin is tested by the Jedi Council, however, he fails, and he is rejected by the Council to the dismay of Qui-Gon Jinn. Padme is coaxed by the Naboo senator named Sheev Palpatine into enacting a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorium. The Senate agrees and Palpatine becomes the new Chancellor. After this, Padme decides to return to Naboo and fight the Trade Federation. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are tasked by Master Yoda and the Council to go with the Queen and find the Sith assassin that attacked them before, and Anakin, being under Qui-Gon's care, tags along, and the whole crew returns to Naboo. On Naboo, Jar Jar leads a Gungan defense against the Trade Federation battle droids. Padme goes on a hunt to capture Nute Gunray, also known as the leader of the Trade Federation. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan combat Maul, and Anakin accidentally takes the Naboo ship for a test drive. Skywalker ends up blowing up the Trade Federation command ship over Naboo, causing the battle droids to die, allowing Jar Jar and his fellow Gungans to claim victory over the droids. While the Jedi are fighting Maul, Qui-Gon is stabbed through the abdomen by the Sith assassin. Luckily, Kenobi, using his Jedi training as well as a dash of luck, is able to defeat Darth Maul. With Qui-Gon's dying wish, he begs Kenobi to train Anakin. Later on, Kenobi is made into a Jedi Knight for defeating such a powerful foe, and Master Yoda gives him permission to train Anakin Skywalker. And then Naboo has a big celebration for defeating the bad guys and winning the day. Our story takes place 10 years after Episode 1. On Coruscant, an assassination attempt was made on Padme's life, but luckily, she survives. Soon after, Padme is given Jedi bodyguards in the form of Obi-Wan Kenobi and his apprentice, Anakin Skywalker. That night, the assassin strikes again. However, Obi-Wan and Anakin apprehend her. But before they can get more information from her, she is shot by a poison dart and she is killed. From there, the story progresses with Kenobi looking for where the poison dart was made, and Anakin is instructed to go back to Naboo with Padme and protect her. Kenobi eventually finds the planet of Kamino, and he learns that a clone army was being forged for the Republic to fight the upcoming separatist threat. Kenobi finds the bounty hunter Jango Fett, and discovers that he was the one who hired the assassin in the first place. Then later shot her with the poison dart so she couldn't reveal the truth to the Jedi. Obi-Wan and Jango then engage in combat. However, Jango manages to escape with his son, Boba, and Kenobi follows them off planet. Then, pretty much, Padme and Anakin fall in love on Naboo, because story, so we'll skip all that sappy stuff, and they soon head to Tatooine to find Anakin's mother. On Tatooine, they learn his mother was captured by Tusken Raiders and she dies of her injuries. So Anakin goes ballistic, killing all the Tusken Raiders, and not just the men, but the women and the children too. Later, after they bury Anakin's mother, they learn that Obi-Wan had been captured on the planet of Geonosis, so Anakin and Padme go to save him, but they fail horribly and are sentenced to death. For Obi-Wan, while captive, he is propositioned to join the Separatists by an old retired Jedi, Qui-Gon's former master, a man known as Count Dooku. But Kenobi declines the Count's offer, and he too is sentenced to death. So all 3 of our heroes are placed in the Geonosian arena to be devoured by beasts. However, the Jedi Council and a bunch of other Jedi come to help them. Mace Windu, a Jedi second to Yoda in strength, kills Jango, and many Jedi die due to the overwhelming number of battle droids. Luckily, the clone army arrives just in the nick of time, led by Master Yoda, and the few surviving Jedi manage to escape the arena. So while the clones and droids proceed to battle, Anakin and Obi-Wan go after Dooku, believing if they were to defeat him now, they could end the war before it even began. However, Skywalker and Kenobi combat the old Count. Anakin charges Dooku but underestimates his power and thus gets knocked aside. Kenobi also tries to fight Dooku, but alone he doesn't stand a chance, and he is wounded. Then Anakin starts a one-on-one with the Count, and although he is able to hold his own for a little, he is soon beaten and his arm cut off. But before they are killed, Yoda saves them and battles Dooku. After a brief but pretty cool fight, Dooku retreats, and in the end, the Clone Wars have officially begun. Anakin gets a robotic arm, and he and Padme get married. Dooku plots with his mysterious master, Darth Sidious, and Kenobi gets to keep his glorious mullet for a little longer. The story takes place 3 years after Attack of the Clones. Anakin and Obi-Wan have become 2 of the most famous Jedi to ever live. Anakin is no longer a Padawan, for he is a Jedi Knight and is regarded as one of the greatest Jedi duelists in the Order. A battle takes place over Coruscant, where we learn that Chancellor Palpatine had been kidnapped by the Separatist leaders Count Dooku and the cyborg alien known as General Grievous. Anakin and Obi-Wan arrive just in the nick of time and manage to sneak on board their ship. Anakin fights Dooku again, only this time Anakin defeats the old Count and rescues the Chancellor. Grievous escapes, and Anakin and Obi-Wan deliver Palpatine to the ground safely. At the Senate building, Anakin is approached by Padme, and she tells him she's pregnant. And Anakin is overcome with joy. Later, Anakin begins having visions of his wife dying, like he did with his mother before she died. And so, Anakin vows that he will not lose Padme the way he lost his mother. Soon after, Anakin is given a seat on the Jedi Council, however, he is not given the rank of Master, which is the first time in 1,000 years that this has ever happened, and Anakin becomes irritated by it. Then later, the Jedi Council asks Anakin to spy on the Chancellor for them, which leads to more distrust between Anakin and the Jedi. Anakin then chats with Palpatine at the opera, and the Chancellor tells Anakin a story about a Sith, known as Darth Plagueis the Wise, who could actually keep the ones he cared about from dying. And this of course piques Anakin's interest. Obi-Wan is tasked with hunting down General Grievous, and Anakin is tasked with keeping an eye on Palpatine. These 2 men, who essentially grew up together, now must part ways for one last time. Kenobi goes to the planet of Utapau, and kills Grievous in an impressive display that proves Obi-Wan is more than just his lightsaber. On Coruscant, Anakin learns that Palpatine is actually the true Sith Lord, one of the strongest to ever live, the one known as Darth Sidious. Skywalker tells Mace Windu of what he has discovered and is instructed to wait for his return. However, Anakin believes that he must make a choice. Either let Mace Windu and the other Jedi kill Palpatine and his hopes of saving Padme will be lost, or stop the Jedi and thus he can still learn the power he craves. So Anakin stops Windu from killing Palpatine, which subsequently ends with Mace Windu's death. Or at least his supposed death, because we don't truly know if he is actually dead, so yeah. So Anakin, realizing there is no turning back, joins the Sith and does what he has to do to save his wife and their unborn child. Anakin leads his clone battalions onto the Jedi Temple, killing all the Jedi in their wake. Palpatine executes Order 66, which is a secret code that turns the clones into machines almost, and they turn on their Jedi allies. And so, across the entire galaxy, hundreds of Jedi are betrayed and killed by the ones they once considered friends. After the Jedi Temple's assault, Anakin went to the lava planet of Mustafar and killed all the remaining Separatist leaders, effectively putting an end to the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan and Yoda discover Anakin's treachery, and Obi-Wan goes to face him, while Yoda goes to confront Darth Sidious. Obi-Wan sneaks onto Padme's ship and later reveals himself upon Mustafar. Anakin believes Padme brought Kenobi on purpose in order to kill him, and in anger begins to force choke Padme. Obi-Wan steps in and the 2 men begin to battle. Back on Coruscant, Yoda and Sidious fight. However, Yoda is technically defeated, but he does survive. Now back on Mustafar, Obi-Wan and Anakin have an epic clash of good versus evil. But in the end, Skywalker's arrogance gets the better of him, and he is defeated by Kenobi. Then, Obi-Wan takes Anakin's lightsaber and leaves. Later, Padme dies in childbirth, and she has a boy named Luke and a girl named Leia. Leia is adopted by Senator Bail Organa, and is brought to the planet of Alderaan. And Obi-Wan takes Luke to Tatooine to be raised by his uncle and aunt.